Now, our next guest became the youngest recording artist to have a #1 album on the classic charts. And now Charlotte Church is empowering inspirational youngsters on their very own musical journey.
Now, as we saw earlier on in the show, she's become the new vocal coach for the Action for Children Young Carers Aloud Choir. And she joins us now to tell us all about it. How exciting is this?
Hi, guys.
How you doing?
It's
Welcome
so
to the show. It's good to see you.
And you.
We saw the VT. It looked incredible.
Yes.
How did you find the whole experience?
It was really special. I was quite surprised by how amazing it was. The young carers themselves are just delightful young human beings, and you could really see like the passion that they had for singing and for music, the connection that they had with each other, but also that this was just like such an out of the ordinary experience for them. I think that often with for young carers, what they do sort of goes a bit unnoticed.
Yeah.
And so just to really have like a lot of focus and a lot of nurture for them.
Look at their little faces when they saw you surprise them. What was that like to just give them that much joy when you came into the room?
Yeah, I think it was wonderful. I think loads of them didn't know who I was. Loads were like, who's this? Who are you bringing in now like we're supposed to care?
Everyone knows
No,
Charlotte.
but no, they were so delightful. And then, you know, there were definitely a few of them that were like, oh my gosh, Charlotte. And it was wonderful. And I feel honoured to be a part of the whole thing, to be honest.
And just to highlight, even though they look so young, they're all carers. They're all working in the homes and caring for people at the moment.
Yeah,
Their family
absolutely.
members, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful.
So it's I had a lot of conversations with some of the different young people there, and they care for different members of their family. It's often really hard, like really quite a lot of adult responsibility put on young shoulders, but it can be really isolating as well. And so, yeah, I was in awe. I was absolutely in awe of these young people, their resilience, their adaptability, but also there's just their joy in the face of adversity as well. But what they got from each other was the thing. It was crazy emotional. Like, I'm basic. Well, tonight for the performance, I'm going to be on the verge of tears the entire time.
Yeah, it is happening tonight. I'm going to come, by the way. I'm going to come.
Yes!
But they're also coming in tomorrow. How was the rehearsals? How did they cope with everything?
They were so good. And again, I genuinely say this as like, I was shocked. They were so quick. They picked everything up really quickly. They were just excellent and able to turn everything that I was telling them, like to literally put into practice immediately. So...
Are you quite strict as a mentor? What kind of mentor are you?
I think I'm pretty soft. I'm pretty soft and nurturing. I love to love them all up.
Do you think you could teach this one how to sing? Because we were saying earlier, he wants to start singing.
Of course, absolutely. I can teach you all to sing, my love.
Could you?
Yeah, it wouldn't take long, absolutely.
Great.
So how do you start? What do you start off with? Warm-ups?
I think the first thing that you start with when it comes to any sort of... So first of all, take the idea of singing out and then start talking about making sound. Because I think a lot of people feel so immediately, like, inhibited and vulnerable, like, oh, I'm not a singer, I can't do that. So you strip out the idea of singing, you strip out the idea of, like, being in tune, and you just start making sounds. So you might start with some, sighs.
Are we doing this now live on television?
You actually want to do it. Go on, give it a go.
Let's go. What are we doing?
And not worry about it.
Exactly. And then you might, ooh, and just start experimenting with different vowel sounds. Different, maybe not quite there.
You sound like an animal.
A bit R&B on it all.
Yeah, and so there's so many ways to start really exploring the voice, and there's just so much science now. There's so much data backed by how good it is for us, whether it's about regulating the nervous system, whether it's about expanding the lung capacity. So for physical, mental, emotional, and I would argue spiritual health, singing and music is, I think, the most powerful tool we have.
Gets you breathing properly as well.
Absolutely.
This time of year, many, many moons ago, was the first time I ever interviewed you. And I don't know if you remember, it was on Fifth Avenue.
She was a baby
the Macy's Thanksgiving/Christmas parade. And I remember looking at you, and you just looked so young.
Yeah.
And this enormous thing you were about to do. And I was thinking, how is this young head dealing with this whole situation? Do you remember it?
I do remember it, and I tell you the reason I remember it, because we've got a photo that my parents always take the mickey out of me.
Oh, look how young you was there.
I was about 14, and I was in a proper 14-year-old mood.
Was you?
Yeah, so I was just like, "Ugh." I was like just grumpy.
Yeah.
And yeah, my parent, and I just had to sort of, you know, put on the face. But also, I got to sing with Usher that day.
Did you?
I sang Silent Night with Usher.
Right.
Oh,
it was beautiful.
wow.
Places was in tears. Fifth Avenue in tears listening to it. It was amazing.
Unbelievable. I mean, you've met Usher. Hello.
Yes, totally.
Did you ever get any great advice from any of the greats at all?
Not necessarily great advice, but I think the best advice I ever got given was actually from my parents.
What did they say?
I mean, loads of things. They've given me, you know, a lot of wonderful advice, but there's something that sticks with me, and I think it was really about staying humble.
Yeah.
And they always used to say, you make sure you're nice to people on the way back up, because you're going to need them on the way back down, and there will be a back down. Yeah. And so, yeah, so you just be kind to everybody.
Yeah, it's so true.
There has been some big decisions made in the White House over the years, over in Washington, but I don't think anyone's ever done their GCSEs there, except for you.
Yeah.
Did that really happen, and how?
Yeah, I think I did two GCSEs in the White House. Yeah, that was a novel experience.
But how? Why there? You just needed a...
I was actually singing at George Bush's something or other.
Did they just give you a little room then?
Yeah.
A little room to go and do
and an adjudicator and a cup of tea. That was my overarching remembering of it, is that I got to have a cup of tea, and then my counterparts in school, my friends in school were like, you've got to have a cup of tea! It was like a big sticking point.
Did you pass?
I did, yeah.
I bet you did.
With flying colours.
Flying colours.
Flying colours. Let's talk about your retreat, because it's such a lovely place to dream in. How is it going, and can I come one day?
Oh, my gosh, please. Please do. It is so joyful.
It looks beautiful.
I'm a practitioner there as well, and I am, again, just humbled, and I feel so lucky to be giving this experience to people, like the transformations that people go through. It really feels very democratic, very open. There's all sorts of different people breaking bread around the table, healing together, exploring, and it feels exactly as I imagined it feeling. Like, you know, during the whole renovation process, I had like 2 years to really dream in the experience of how I wanted people to feel, and it was all around connection to nature, connection to each other, connection to joy, to play, to awe and wonder. And so I feel like it massively cultivates those like really positive human attributes.
You might have 2 visitors there.
Please,
let's go.
Please come and see me.
So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Good luck tonight in Battersea.
I'm so excited to work with them again.
For children as well.